Hello, the 31st here, how's it going? Welcome back to another PowerPoint presentation. Are we going to see new Pokemon in Legends Arceus? A question that has been on everyone's minds since the release of the trailer. Today I'm going to take a look at the evidence and assess whether it's possible or not, and some potential different ways in which it could work. And the answer is likely yes. But there's going to be different sorts of Pokemon that are going to be more or less likely to be in these games. Now extinct species or regional forms. So Pokemon whose lineages have died off completely before Diamond and Pearl. Ancestral species. So these species are extinct as well, but their lineages live on in modern day Sinnoh Pokemon. And finally, Pokemon whose ranges have changed. Not necessarily new Pokemon, but Pokemon we wouldn't expect to see in Sinnoh. Or new Pokemon from new regions may have been imported or potentially used to migrate to Sinnoh, but no longer do as the environments have changed. So, starting with extinct species. Honestly, pretty likely. It would be a very easy way to get new species or regional variants into these games that take place in the past, especially given that humans are seemingly new to the Sinnoh region. If humans are great at one thing, it's killing entire species. Since just the 16th century, humans have made around 680 species of vertebrates alone go extinct. And right now, as many as 1 million species are facing extinction because of human activity. Overhunting, habitat destruction, simple persecution. It's not hard to find lists of species humans have completely eradicated. And unfortunately, this ancient Sinnoh is exactly the sort of place that humans will have the most impact. They will appear for the first time and take the land and its resources for their own. It would be cool to see new species, but knowing they went extinct because of us would also suck. But in terms of how likely we are to see new Pokemon introduced in this way, it's 9 out of 10, as long as they have the balls to go through with it. It would be an incredibly simple and effective way to get new Pokemon into these games and make them disappear very quickly. And all the while, they could teach us a valuable lesson. Ancestral forms. Ancient ancestral forms of Pokemon that no longer exist, but have been replaced by their descendants. Like an ancient Shinx or something like that. Again, would be very cool, but how likely is it? Well, Darwinian evolution is a very long process in our world. The genetic and epigenetic changes that result in new species take millions of years, even for stuff like insects that reproduce very quickly. On the other hand, Pokemon can seem to go through a similar process at a much more accelerated rate. Looking at regional variants can tell us quite a bit. While some Alolan forms like Sandshrews, Vulpixes, or Dugtrios have seemingly been around since the beginning of Alolan culture, there were Pokemon that were introduced to Alola well after humans had established themselves and have since become new species. Humans introduced Rattata, Meowth, and Grimer, and then watched them go through the process of completely changing. We don't have a concrete time frame for this, but it's still very compelling, and I think it makes the chances of seeing an ancient ancestral form honestly decent, like 7 out of 10 decent. Lastly, there's the idea of changing ranges that will change the species we see. Included in this, I'm going to say Pokemon from new regions that have been brought to Sinnoh by settlers. For the chances, honestly, it's hard to say. There's no real evidence either way. It's definitely possible that the settlers came from a Gen 9 region and brought a couple Pokemon with them that couldn't survive in the wild, or did, and are now just Pokemon we know as Sinnohian. It's also very possible that as humans take over Sinnoh, they change the habitats and the climate. Certain Pokemon that used to migrate to Sinnoh from another region no longer do so. Or species we already know, like, Oranguru, used to live there, but were made extinct. Because of how little we know on this, I'm going to say only like 5, maybe even 4 out of 10. I think the idea of Gen 9 Pokemon that are introduced and then gradually evolved into Pokemon we know as Sinnoh Pokemon is a cool idea they could play around with. Making a Sinnoh Pokemon a Sinnohian form of a previously unheard of Pokemon would be a cool way to tie us into Gen 9 and would offer some sort of insights into Pokemon biology. But if you have any ideas of how we could get new Pokemon besides these, let me know. And if you want to give your own scores on my options, feel free. As always, I love to hear everyone's opinions and thoughts, so leave them down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.